Yo, what's going on? I'm sorry, y'all. My phone cut off. So we were at chapter 21, and thus the princess recommended that they be let live as hewers of wood and drawers of water for the entire community, and the community did as the princess advised them. So, to be hewers of wood and drawers of water is what the father recommended for these men when they returned. Okay, and so to be a hewer of wood means made to work hard. Hewers of wood and drawers of water means to be made to work hard. Those who drudge. Okay, a job that requires physical labor but does not require much skill, and it is hard work, but it is also boring. It performs a minimal task. He also may be calling some to be shepherds or teachers of the church, prophets and husbands. Okay? You may not want to think that this man's having to do hard work is condemnation, or you might not think that it's condemnation enough. But this man is someone who came from royalty. So trust me, this condemnation is like trading places. What Holy Spirit showed me was the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this before, but Eddie Murphy was someone who was poor. He was homeless. And I forget how the movie goes exactly, but I know he came in contact with this rich Caucasian man. And I think the rich Caucasian man had treated Eddie Murphy some type of way because he was poor, because he was homeless, because he looked like what he looked like, because he dressed like what he dressed like, because he talked like what he talked like. The man had did something or he said something. But long story short, they ended up having to trade places, and Eddie Murphy ended up living in this man's house. He ended up having all the money that this man had, and this man and cars and everything. And y'all know Eddie Murphy acted a fool. Okay, when he got all that money in that house and everything, he acted a fool. But the Caucasian man, he ended up being homeless like Eddie Murphy was. So they ended up trading places. So this is what the father is saying is happening to this man. He is trading places. He is going from someone who had everything he wanted and was he didn't have to work hard for it. This is a man that didn't have to work hard. Okay, he was a part of the he is a part of the royal bloodline. He is one of the men that did not have to work hard. He did not have to work hard for his new beginning. That was not his portion. It became his portion because of what he did. But the father doesn't want you to think, because when you see this man, I hear blue collar worker. I'm not wrong with no blue collar worker either. But the father wants you to know, when you see this man working hard and, doing like physical labor, and it doesn't require much skill, but it's hard work, it's physical labor, and it's boring to this man, it doesn't require minimal tasks, know that this is this man's condemnation. When he's doing something that's not stimulating his mind, that's boring to him, but it's physical labor and it's hard work. And this is something he has to do to make the money, to bring home money. Okay, know that this is part of this man's condemnation, because this is not something 411 that he is even used to. This man is not used to hard physical labor. This man is used to being stimulated mentally, not physically. Not saying that he's weak physically, but this is a man that's used to being stimulated mentally, using his intellect. Now he is going to be working in a place where he is not being mentally stimulated at all, but he is going to be physically stimulated. Hard labor. Boring. Okay, it's going to be boring for this man. And the father is also maybe calling this man to be a prophet Okay, a prophet and a husband and a blue collar worker. That might be, what it is. But this man is, if you haven't ever seen the movie Trading Places, watch it. This man is trading places. Okay, this is somebody who the Father created for you. This is your person. Okay, he was built up by the Father. This is your promise from the Father. And he was also condemned by the Father because the Father disapproved of him. The Father disapproved of this man publicly. Whatever this man did, the Father made a public declaration that he disapproved of whatever this man did. There's no way that this man does not know that the Father disapproved of what he did, because the Father made a public declaration that he disapproved of whatever this man did. However the Father did it, he did it, and it was public. Okay, and the reason why the Father did this is because this is a man who is a part of the royal bloodline. This is his chosen son. This is someone he gave a word, a promise, and instructions to. And when he received his word, his promise, and his instructions, he was excited about it. He was happy about it. But he went for his promise. He went for his wife without seeking guidance and instructions from the Lord on how to maintain his wife, how to maintain and keep a relationship with her. And in the midst of him doing that, there were people that were closest to him, that were coming against him, causing him and forcing him to separate from his wife, unbeknownst to him, because they would cover up what they were doing. Whatever separation spells that they were doing, whatever talking or gossiping that they were doing, this was all intentional to get this man to separate from his wife. And not only was he not seeking guidance from the Father on how to maintain his relationship and his marriage with his wife, and how to treat her and how to love her and how to take care of her, but he was associating with people whom he thought was his friends and his family, who were really his enemies, who were coercing and forcing him to separate from his wife, to separate from God's promise, to throw it away. And in the midst of that, person doing this man is also living in the world, coming into agreement with the things that are of the world, the things that are of darkness. This man may have been dibbling and dabbling in new age spirituality, the evil eye, saying, I love the universe did this, the universe did that, tarot cards, psychic readings, witch doctors, all this other type of stuff. This man came into agreement with these things, wearing crystals or whatever. This is burning sage, incense, doing hexes, spells, trying to do them theirself. This is something this man came in agreement with, the powers of darkness, made promises and oaths and payments. Okay, all of this thing was going on while this man was running to his wife. He was tied and attached to all of that while he was running to his wife. Okay, he was excited about who his wife was. He was excited when he received the word. He was excited when he received the instructions. But when he was faced with tribulations and persecutions, when that time came, his faith wasn't genuine. It proved not to be genuine. It proved not to hold up. So this man sowed a seed on rocky ground. He was excited, but his faith didn't hold up. It wasn't genuine enough. Okay, so this man ended up treating his wife like trash, like the bottom of the barrel, making his wife feel like she didn't want anything to do with him. She'd rather be with anybody else in the world but him. She'd rather be somebody else's treasure, to be cherished, rather than to be treated like trash by somebody who was supposed to love her. This is how she feels. And then this man, he made his wife feel this way, and the wife took her feelings and her emotions back to the Father. And she's like, is this man that you gave to me, my husband, is he supposed to be able to hurt me more than my enemies do? And is love supposed to feel like this? Is he allowed to hurt me like this? And the father told his daughter, absolutely not. Divine separation, judgment and wrath for my son and his actions and what he has done. I'm going to handle that. I'm going to deal with it. My daughter, I'm going to put you over here. You going to heal. I'm going to fill you up with love, and you stay on your purpose and in your alignment. You stay in faith and you do what I tell you to do. You keep continuing. I'm going to take care of this and I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to handle this over here. You don't worry about it. Then the father went to his son and he condemned him. He placed judgment and wrath. The father used his mighty hand. He reached down from the heavens and he picked up his son and he said, come here, let me talk to you. I need to talk to you. In this room back here with the door closed. Take them pants down. This gonna hurt a little bit. Or a lot. And after he finished getting that whooping from the father, 11:11, he was not upset with the father for the whooping that he got. He understood why he got it. He understood why he needed it. And he learned from it. And he came back to the father and he said, I'm sorry. I want to make it right. I put it on my mama. I will never hurt my wife again. The father said, okay. I gave you your whooping. You apologized. You said you'll never do it again. Clean slate. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen from here on out. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to work hard. And the father is also calling this man to tell his story, to tell his testimony, to trade places with who he used to be. 12:12. This man is ashamed because he doesn't understand why he did some of the things he did, because like I said, it was forced upon him to stop building with his wife, the people that he was surrounded by. He probably has no idea who is coming against him in his marriage, but it's somebody he is sharing the information with. Okay, but whoever this person is, they have forced your husband. They forced your husband to stop building with you. It's not something that your husband wanted to do. And this person, your husband, didn't have the discernment because they were not seeking the guidance of the father. They was going off their own understanding and their own will with everything. All right, so that's the message. The father just wants you to know that the decree, decision, and a promise that this man had made previously with the kingdom of darkness or the powers of darkness, it has been completely annulled, erased. It's like it never happened. The father says he has pity on this man. He has shown and gave him mercy. He has forgiven him. And he wants you to be this man's wife. You are this man's wife. And he wants you to come together in union. Because what will come from it will be strong and healthy and full of energy. Whether this is a child or whether this is the union itself. This time, when you return to this person or when they return to you, know that they will not attack you. This is a promise that they made to the Father. And they can't hurt you even if they wanted to, thus says the Lord. But this is a promise that they made to the Father that they will never, ever hurt you again. So the Father knows that this may be something that you don't want to hear, that you may complain about, that you may throw a fit about, that you may murmur about, that you may have an issue with. And he says he understands all of that. He understands why you don't trust this man. He understands why you feel the way you feel. But the Father says this man is not allowed to hurt you again anymore. Oh, and the last thing. This is some tea. Some of your spouses live closer to you than you think they do. They lied to you. Okay? Verse 22 says, Joshua summoned the Gibeonites and said to them, why did you lie to us and say that you lived at a great distance from us when you will be living in our very midst? So if this person doesn't live close to you or with you, then you are going to be living very close to each other or with each other. Okay, so either this person lied to you about where they live and they live closer to you than what you think, or either y'all about to move in together. And that's the message, y'all. Peace.